Hey everybody! Let me go ahead and put the game screen on here because being the pro streamer I am, I didn't have that set up yet. And there we go. Cool. And let me adjust this camera just a little bit. As usual. It's not quite in the right place. There we go. Alright, so I played this game a little bit 2 weeks ago-ish now, and so I am picking it up where I left off. So we are going to continue this game from where we left off on day one. So I've played about 2 hours of this so far. The entirety of the first season was like 10-ish hours. So I have no idea how long chapter 4 is, but I've played 2 hours so far and I'm still on day one. We'll see. All right, let's see. What am I doing right now? Okay. All right. I don't remember what we've been up to. Okay, so this is, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be talking to this guy that's in here. So we did, last time we had the murder and we had some searching around and all of that mess. And so now we are waiting to interview one of the people who is in charge of all the security cameras and stuff like that. So that's what we're up to. Okay. All right, so I'm just passing time until he's available. All right. Okay. I thought I was ready to talk to that guy. Okay, we already talked to all these people. That's why I'm not going to read that out again. Okay. Moving right along from that. I thought I already did all this part. I thought I was ready. Okay. Wonder what I'm supposed to do to trigger the flag. Huh. Okay, there is a prison bar. Alright, let's see. Let's pick up the pace, okay, Nina? Let's go. Okay, everybody is kind of elsewhere. Yeah, I already talked to everybody, so there's got to be something I'm missing that I need to look at back in the studio. Okay. Okay. Okay, so he's busy. I wonder if I need to look up here. They were talking about this mess. Okay, best to leave it alone. Okay. I'm not sure what my flag is supposed to be here.
Welcome, No Truki.
Hey, what's up? So, this game, it has some courtroom drama stuff, but it also has adventure game elements too. So right now I'm in the adventure game portion, which is the lead up to the court stuff. And like the court stuff is a part of, but it's not like the only thing that this game is about. So, At the moment, I'm on the crime scene, and I'm trying to figure out what flag I need to trip so that I can go in there and talk to that guy. So, this happens to not be, like, the most exciting moment.
Incoming ad break.
Let's see. Oh, now it's too low. Ah! I can never get this camera right. It's never in the place I want it. Okay, maybe that's better. Okay. Anyway. Let's see. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, though. Huh. Okay, there's a fridge, there's a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, she keeps telling me I can't mess with it. But if I talk to her, that's all that I get. I have all of these clues, which is cool. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, though, at this point, to get in there. Okay, there's something I've got to be tripping right now, but I don't know what. Yeah, okay, so they say there's still something in there I need to find. I don't know what, though, so I'm just gonna have to walk around and start pushing buttons. Anyway, so, Rookie, how are you doing today? Tell me about stuff. What's going on? How are things? Let's see. I already tried to look at that equipment and that didn't do anything for me. Okay, watch out for the cables. I can't touch the cables. Okay, he won't talk to me. That's great, but, Okay. I don't know what I'm missing. Any of these lights? Cables? Okay, that's it. I had to look at the fucking security camera. Okay. Okay. We spoke to that lady, a lot of Eiffel in the lobby. As head of security, she has all the feeds, and it was useless. The camera is set up to monitor both entrances and exits to this room. It never pans far enough to see the soundstage. You can get the raw footage if you want, but we went through it very closely. Okay. Guess that would have been too easy, huh? Penny for your thoughts? I get the feeling we found everything we're going to find in here. So that's it! That's all I had to do. I had to just look at the camera. Okay. Let's try outside. Okay. Okay. Alright. So what's the plan? I just want to take a look around. You're the boss. Okay. From what we saw after the incident, this is Amara's trailer. Locked. Okay. This seems pretty secure. What are you looking at? The gate? And the walls. The gate seems solid. Plus, the gates and the walls are both 15 feet high. You're trying to rule out someone coming in from outside? That's right. The walls don't guarantee that, but no one's getting over those without some forward planning. This place is like a fortress. Okay. Nothing over there. Let's look at this trailer. From what we saw after the incident, this is Janice's trailer. Okay. Locked. Yep, they're all pretty much locked. This is Milia's trailer. Okay. And I wonder... Locked. Looks like there's a sign on the right. Maybe that explains what this little building is for? Let's see. Warning, do not enter. Severe risk of bodily harm. Risk of explosion? Explosion? Maybe it's the site for the gas line. Maybe. Okay. Hey!
It's delicious panda underscore Quinn 21.
What is up, Quinn? Hey, what's up? How are you doing today? Did the error, very importantly,
Welcome panda underscore Quinn 21.
was the error fixed in your clinic? Because you were lurking. You're making chicken noodle soup? Ooh, okay. Is anybody sick, or are you just making it because you like it? And AC was fixed. Okay, awesome. Great, great. So I'm glad to hear that, because you were sweating everything out of your pores. So that's cool. Nobody's sick, though, at your house, right? You're just making chicken noodle soup because you like it? Okay. Now there's a familiar set of wheels. Yeah, that was the car from the last adventure we had in Mina Aquila. It's been raining and you have a lot of chicken stock. Okay, that's a very good reason to make some chicken noodle soup. So I like how you answered the question about what you're eating before I even asked. So another camera. Yeah, but this one's not moving, and it doesn't look to be in a state of repair. Let's put a pin in that. All right. Yeah, what am I having for dinner? Why, Ruki, I am having some red lentil and roasted carrot soup with pita chips and hummus. That's what I'm having. What are you having, Ruki? Okay. Miss Aquila. Lotta, right? Lotta Eiffel? That's right. I'm just doing my rounds. Rounds? There's more to security than staring into camera feeds and asking if people to do viral tests. Sometimes it pays to do a quick run around the site. Plus, you get your 10K steps in. Gotta do it somehow. Can I help you too? Are you looking for something? I wanted to ask about the security camera out there in the trailer yard. That one? It's kaput. Excuse me? Broken, dead, expired. It's actually been broken for some time. We wanted to fix it, but apparently the camera system is all covered by warranty, so we're waiting on the people who originally set it up to get back in touch. So it doesn't record anything? Nope, sorry, not a thing. Alright, can I help you too? Are you looking for something? Okay, let's talk about the inside camera. Okay, well there's a camera in the soundstage area. Oh, that one? Yep, that one works. I've already been through the footage with the police. We looked at everything from an hour before the incident right up until they left with Milia. The cop inside said something similar. You didn't find anything? I mean, the footage was clear. We had several hours of people coming and going, but everything seemed to match the depositions people gave the cops. Nobody arrived who wasn't supposed to be there, and no one left before they should. Got it. Can I help you too? Okay. Trailers. We tried the trailers, but they're all locked. Do you have keys? No. Seriously? Seems like an oversight. Hey! I run a tight ship, goggle boy. Okay, so Ruki. Some leftover wonton soup and chicken I threw in the air fryer. Trying to empty out the fridge before going on a trip, so it makes for some strange combos. I understand that. I've been going through my stuff and trying to clean things out. Not because I'm going on a trip, because I can't do that now that I'm 100% like housebound in terms of caretaking duties, but I have to clean everything out because we don't have money to buy groceries. So that's my reason. We're like, okay, skimming the pantry until the next time we can pick up groceries. So yeah, that's why we're getting creative. We luckily had a whole shit ton full of carrots, so we had lentils already, and then we had carrots, and we had veggie broth because I always keep scraps and make broth pretty regularly. So the soup for this evening's meal was not a hard thing to make. Okay, then why? The trailers are owned by their occupants. Milia, Amara, and Janice. They rent the footprint, but the trailers are their property. I understand Hank has a set of keys. Maybe he could let us in? I doubt it. The keys are for absolute emergencies. If you got a concrete reason to go inside, maybe. But in any case, he's off-site right now. Off-site? He had to go for a meeting with our insurer. Probably the first of many. Alright, in the outbuilding. What's that little outbuilding at the end of the trailer park? Outbuilding? Oh, you mean the weapons locker. The weapons locker? Okay. It's used to store some of the stuff for the pyrotechnics system. Kat Wheel's in charge of that. She's in the studio today, so you should ask her if you see her. Got it. Okay. Cool. No problem. I'll be at my desk if you think of anything else. Great. What's up? I get the feeling we found everything we're going to find out here. Let's see if Chad's finished. Now I'm sure he is, because we finished that part. Hey, look! I guess Chad must have wrapped things up. We should go talk to Jack Cable in the control room. Alright. Well, Chad's still in there. Don't mind me. Okay, I won't. Nina, right? Nina Aquila? Chad said you would be along soon. We're kind of in the middle of something. Be just a sec. Have you gotten anywhere trying to resurrect this equipment? Things look pretty dire. The file server is totally fried. We've been trying to extract anything from the memory card within the camera. Can't you just rip it out? Even if you're worried about the power, surely a pair of oven gloves. The card is fused into the slot. We thought we could reach it via the computer network. Got it. Really? Well, it's not good.
Welcome Money Smith 777.
Hey Moxie, how's it going? How are you doing today? What are you having for dinner? That's the question of the hour. We have 2 people, well actually 3 people, all the 3 people who have stated their dinner said they were all having soup. So you are the rogue burger. Okay, burger's good. Solid classic meal. What's wrong? The data, it's garbage. Their video files are right, but they're corrupt. You might have to figure out a soup. That way you can be part of the soup kitchen gang. Right. So we've got chicken noodle soup. So Quinn's having chicken noodle. And Ruki's having wonton soup. And I'm having red lentil and roasted carrot soup. So lots of soups. Okay, they won't play. Can you salvage anything? If I check the file headers... Okay, I've got 2 images. Both are in black and white monochrome. The scene was going to be like that in the final episode. You can eat soup even in hot weather, Quinn. One of those. A summer-appropriate stew. Oh, yeah, stew would be good, too. Well, there's also, you know, you could have, you know, like cold soup. They have those. You could have one of those, a cold soup as well. What I like to do is I like to do like a smoothie bowl. And so it's a protein shake / smoothie. Yeah, gazpacho. But it's like a smoothie bowl. So it's like, you know, a protein shake / smoothie. It's got fruits and veg in it. But then like you can put granola and stuff on it. I do that a lot in the summer. The monitor is screwed, but I should be able to call them up on that little status screen, bringing up image number 1. That looks like it was taken just before the incident. Now bringing up image number 2. Janice is missing in that picture, and it looks like Maxie just after she became injured. This can't be all we have. These are from either side of the actual incident. Mr. Cable, are you certain the full file won't play on your equipment? Maybe with more time I could pass it through some tools. Do you have the means to write the footage to a disk? Moxie. Gazpacho sounds like the name of an anime character. Oyabun Gazpacho. Well, to be fair, a lot of anime characters do have food names. So, foods or other objects or things from Western culture. So, you're not wrong. That could be an anime character name. Please tell me more of the lore that you've got for Oyabun Gazpacho, the anime character. With all the associated metadata? Yeah, it's only a few hundred megs. I can write it to a DVD. Just a sec. Here you are. And one for you, for good measure. What are you planning to do with this? It won't play. Fledge City PD have some great data forensics people. And I trust that you'll be disclosing the footage if you get it to play. Believe me, Miss Aquila, if I get professionally lit, high-def footage of this incident, you'll be the first to hear about it. Okay, so for people who don't know anything about this game, this guy who's talking, Chad Hawk, is the prosecutor. And then Nina, the lady with the eye patch that I am playing, she is the defense attorney. So we are both kind of interviewing witnesses and getting information. I know that's usually like the place for police and everything, but whatever. We're going with the kind of conceit that you have from a Ace Attorney game where, you know, the actual lawyers get involved and get in the middle of the crime scene as well. Miss Aquila, the only person I've yet to interview is Maxie, the woman who was injured. Me neither. I need to find out where. She's at Fledge City Memorial Hospital at the burn ward, room 401. Yeah. But I heard she's in some pain. Might I suggest, yes? If we both turn up to question her back to back, it might seem like a bit of a shock to the system. I'm leaving now. If you give it an hour, that'll put you an hour behind me. That's still more than enough time to make visiting hours. That's... Ugh, he's right. That's prudent. I hate that. Understood. I'll just set an alarm on my phone. See you in court. So much for him. You don't like Chad? He shouldn't take it personally. I don't like many people. But I liked? Point is, I was friends with Janice and Milia. So collar me when you're ready to talk shop. Okay. So let me catch up on the chat. So Ruki says...
Incoming ad break.
That's 1000% a Dragon Ball villain. Moxie says they should totally do some sort of alternate universe Dragon Ball where for some reason they are members of a high school gang. Oyabun Gazpacho would be the leader of the rival school. Oh, now you're getting into fighting games. Mr. Cable, hello. It seems like you're fully aware, but for clarity's sake, I'm going to be acting in defense of Milia Norden in court tomorrow. Yep, Hank briefed me. Didn't you represent him too a little while back? Yeah, ad breaks happen. Sorry about that. That's right. So I'm sorry if you're gonna have to repeat yourself after talking to Chad. It's okay, this is important. So what do you want to know? From the top, can you tell me about the incident from your perspective? I mean, you probably saw... Oh, that. I just want to know what you saw personally. Try to pretend I wasn't here. Well, I saw the whole thing, from start to finish, in monochrome. You mean in black and white? That's right. It was up here on the big monitor. It had been a busy morning while we got everything ready to film. The scene in the final show was to be in black and white, so I calibrated the monitor for monochrome. I was putting the finishing touches on the live preview when you and your assistant spoke to me. But everything seemed good. I'd heard there was some change of plans due to Mr. Lucas visiting the set, but that didn't matter much to me. I just got busy in here. When it was time to film, we did final prep. You two, Hank and Mr. Lucas, came here to watch while we started filming. Then, I mean, please just describe what you saw, Mr. Cable. Okay. Milia seemed to react to a sound from her bird, Starna. Then, she must have pulled the flash paper in her costume, or set off a flare, or something. Mr. Cable? Yes? I know it's hard, but try not to speculate. We'll come to that later. Just what you saw, please. Fine. Milia performed her on-set transformation sequence and appeared to become her in-show alter ego, Valkyrie Freya. The light was so bright I was worried it might burn out the camera sensor. Fortunately, the camera recovered. For a moment, at least. Just after that, Janus looked disoriented. Then he did the same thing. He performed his costume change sequence and could be seen on the monitor as some sort of monster. Before I knew what was happening, a burst of orange flames shot forth from Milia and hit Janus. There was a bright flash of light, and it was around that time that the camera finally burned out. Some sort of power surge knocked out the camera, the file server, and my studio monitor. Thanks for the summary. Now, could I ask you to speculate on what might have happened? Not a chance. Really? Sorry, but I've ran the event over and over in my head dozens of times. We weren't meant to be filming any VFX shots on that day. Cat Wheel wasn't even in the building. Some of your colleagues have speculated about a problem with the pyrotechnics system. I don't see how. But then again, what else could have happened? That just seems to be the only reasonable explanation. Okay, so Moxie says, you got stuck in an ad break. What do you think of River City Dragon Ball? There you go, why not? Like, what would all the little random thugs you have to fight be like, though? I don't envy you. Excuse me? This task, trying to defend Milia, it's my job. Regardless, you have my sympathy. Look, I'll do what I can to try and recover this lost footage. Maybe I'll get lucky. If I do, I'll make sure it gets to you. Thanks, Jack. So that's like a guarantee that we will see that footage, for sure. Pretty sure we've still got stuff to find in here. Maybe we should stick around. Okay. This monitor is clearly a burned out mess. Okay. This is a sci-fi game. This one is, this is a sort of Ace Attorney, but Ace Attorney alike with the courtroom drama, but it also has adventure game elements, but it also, like, every chapter focuses on a different type of anime, and each one of the different chapters has stuff that you end up doing that's involving something kind of related to an anime. Like, the first chapter was Yu-Gi-Oh! Inspired, so you got to battle card monsters on, like, a stage and go to a convention and a bunch of stuff like that. And there was also another one that was Initial D / Fast and the Furious type, and you were doing racing. And this one is Magical Girl themed, so we are on the set of a Magical Girl show, and someone got vaporized, they were filming something on the set, and then the Magical Girl did her transformation sequence, and then the, like, protagonist's boyfriend guy ended up transforming into a monster, and then she vaporized him, and he just disappeared and was no more, turned into ash. And so now that person was arrested, like the Magical Girl was arrested, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. But the thing is that from the trailers for this chapter, it looks like magical girls are really real and the demons are really real. And so, like, they're playing magical girls on this show, but they actually are magical girls too. So, if it's like I know this has beat 'em up segments in it, and that Nina has a transformation sequence of her own where she becomes a magical girl. So that's all stuff that happens in this chapter somewhere. I just haven't gotten there yet. Let me see. Is there anything else I need to look for? Okay. I don't think so. Maybe that's it. Okay. So that was devastating. Your point being, you've got to assume that Hank's gonna tap Jack Cable for court tomorrow. Ace Attorney but Magical Girl is a pretty strong pitch. Yeah, I mean, like, this game kind of covers a lot of territory. This is the 4th chapter. The season 1 is its own game title, and it has chapters 1 through 3 in it, and that is about 10 hours worth of gameplay. But I'm still in day 1 on this chapter 4, and I played a couple of hours so far. So this one is probably a lot longer. Anyway, surely that's bad for us. We've had worse. Really? Nina. Nina, what? Can you not space out when I'm asking you about this stuff? It's clear that this is important to you, even if I've no idea why. But come on, Jack's testimony, what do you think? We've never heard a witness who saw the entire incident. We've never had a witness who saw the entire incident from start to finish. It makes no difference. Millie is our client, and I'm going to act as zealous advocate for her case. Right now, anything else is just a distraction. But for now, I'm sure there was someone else we needed to talk to. They must be around here somewhere. So I gotta find the cat lady, the VFX person. Oh, there she is. Hello, are you Cat Wheel? I'm really quite busy. I'll try not to take up too much of your time. I'm Nina Aquila, and this is my assistant, Dylan Merlo. Hey. Oh wow, was your assistant in some sort of fight? You should have seen the other guy. So you are, in fact, Cat Wheel? Hank said I should expect 2 lawyers and the police. I take it you're the second lawyer? So, Chad got to her first. That's right, I'm representing Milia Norton in her case. As I said before, I really am quite busy. I appreciate you've got a job to do, but please understand, so do we. Even so. Look, my role in all this requires that I pursue all avenues of investigation. If we make it quick, it'll be faster to get back to whatever it is you're doing. Fine. Catherine Wheel, at your service. Though most just call me Cat. What do you do? I'm the studio's VFX technician. I assume that means you handle stuff relating to the visual effects? That's right. With the studio focusing on a Magical Girl show, we have numerous things that need effects to really work on screen. Transformation sequences, special attacks. I'm surprised that's not mostly done on computer. The studio prides itself on practical effects. We try to do as much on camera as possible and only augment those effects with computer imagery. It gives things a rustic feel, which is great for the kid audience. They feel more connected to the action when it looks so real. Have you ever had any accidents? You mean apart from yesterday's incident? Never. Catherine Wheel, at your service. Okay. The incident. Let's talk about it. Where were you yesterday? After finishing the last session, I went on vacation. Anywhere fun? Some friends and I went whitewater rafting and camped out each night. I only just got back. From what I've heard, the incident happened when I was still on the return flight. That's a decent alibi. We could easily check if she was actually still on the flight. No one would tell such an easily refutable lie. Others on the crew have talked to me about being dazzled, and the police have even suggested that Janice Duo was incinerated? What do you make of it? All hogwash. Hogwash? Baseless supposition. There was no VFX planned for yesterday. It's just not possible for the Pyron 9000 to have discharged like that. Pyron 9000? This baby. Our pyrotechnics are supplied by the Pyron 9000. Pyron 9000 sounds like something Moxie would like. Also, Pyron is the name of the fire god guy from Darkstalkers 3, so that's what I'm thinking about. This machine connects to various nozzles and emitters around the soundstage area. 2 large flame jets in the upper lighting rig can fire flaming tongues. Numerous smaller flame jets can be fired up from the floor. Smoke machine nozzles are embedded in various places. There's even a jet that can fire a fine stream of liquid, then ignite that for a mini explosion. Though the last one's not used very often. This is all in addition to the lighting rig, which can flash to help mask things for transformation sequences. Cute tech girl is clearly innocent. Right, like she's not on trial for this. She's probably has nothing to do with this. Sounds like a serious piece of equipment. Oh, it is. This kind of equipment is normally only used in big arenas. Most idol performances use similar equipment. Of course, with us using it in such a confined space, the effect is very powerful. I hate to even ask, but is it possible it could have misfired? No. Even with a power surge, short circuit? Hell, what if the studio was struck by a bolt of lightning? I get where you're going with this, but the answer is no. How can you be so sure? You're dealing with weapons-grade hardware here. It's true that without safety features, the Pyron 9000 could be very dangerous. Look, it's a killer robot! But those features are extensive. All those things you list, they could definitely stop the device from firing when it's supposed to, but there's no way it could make it fire when it's not properly loaded. Not properly loaded? Look, I can make this really simple. What are you doing? The Pyron 9000 can only fire when it has ammo. Ammo? And as you'll see, but that just can't be. What is it? What's wrong? This. Okay, what's this? You know, she looks like Luca from Chrono Trigger right there. Okay, so Moxie, you say, I actually worked on stuff similar to this before. A lightning strike was actually something we tested. Awesome. It stinks of oil, whatever this is. Kerosene. Good nose. But what is it? This is an ammo pack. Think of it like a printer cartridge for an office printer. Only instead of ink, this contains kerosene and various additives. The Pyron 9000 can ignite the kerosene with those additives to create flames and smoke of various colors. The chemicals are pressurized and flow out of the nozzle on top when the machine opens the valve. A single pack can create a flaming burst that's around 5 seconds in length. But normally our VFX only need a fraction of time for each flash. So each pack can last us a while. The smell is very pungent. Is it dangerous? This ammo pack type only works within the machine. They're pretty safe provided you handle them with care, and besides, this one is empty. So what's the problem? When you opened the machine, you sounded like you'd seen a ghost. Cat? Yes? This ammo pack isn't supposed to be here, is it? The machine was supposed to be empty. I meticulously load and unload the Pyron 9000 every session. Every single time. You've never missed unloading it after a long day? Not even once. I log it, even. And I know for a fact that I unloaded it when we finished the final scenes of last season. We shouldn't even have a single empty pack presently on site. I send them back to the manufacturer to be refilled, and our inventory lists all our packs as full. This definitely has been used. Where do you keep them when they're not inside the machine? In the weapons locker outside. Our insurer requires that we keep them in a different building to the machine. Who has access to that building? There are only 2 sets of keys. I have one. They were locked in a safe at my home while I was on vacation. Hank has the other. Oh, Hank, you're not looking too good. Do you need anything else to fire the machine? Just this. A control device? Very good. These devices connect wirelessly to the Pyron 9000 and can be used to trigger pre-programmed FX. And without one, the machine can't fire? That's right. But if a person were to buy another one, say from the manufacturer, nope, no good. They're set up with a unique encryption key. Realistically, they're unhackable. That's a lot of detail. So Moxie, is that a thing? Would they have an encrypted control device? Are these devices kept under lock and key? Normally, no. If the Pyron 9000 isn't loaded, then they're useless. And as you unload it every time, there's usually no need. How many of these exist? 4. I have this one here. Milia has one, Amara has one, and Janice has, well, had one. But I wonder, did Milia have hers yesterday during the incident? They keep each of them in the right glove of their transformed costume. It helps them trigger the FX naturally during their performance. Was Milia wearing her costume? Damn it, yes. Uh-oh. Looks like the fans have finished their self-diagnostic cycle. Can you hit that switch to turn them back on? Okay, so Moxie, you say not sure about that. They definitely have a similar control device that it wouldn't work without. Rock on.
Incoming ad break.
Sorry for the ad break, y'all. Those are some serious fans. Necessary fans. The kerosene and additives from the VFX are harmful. These fans can exchange all the air in this room every 60 seconds. Otherwise, we'd all have to wear breather masks. Plus, we'd all stink of kerosene. I think, yeah, these weren't spinning after the incident when the breaker was tripped. If the power was out, then they wouldn't be able to spin. But they'd start up the moment the power was restored. Kat, this is going to be difficult. But I need to ask you a direct question. Fire away. All my answers so far have just led to bigger questions. Here goes. If employed correctly by someone who knew how to use it, could the Pyron 9000 be used to incinerate someone? Is it theoretically possible that it could have incinerated Janice? Yes. You're sure? The Pyron 9000 is a very powerful machine. Even the ammo packs come from a subsidiary of the military arm of Rookery Inc. Actually, as an effect, we once used it to incinerate a waxwork dummy of around the size of a person. It was gone in around 2 seconds. 5 full seconds of that flame jet? Janice wouldn't stand a chance. Time to go see Maxie? That's right. Kat, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Sorry I couldn't prove Milia innocent. Appreciate your help all the same. Let us know if you find anything else. No problem. Alright, now time to go check the hospital. Whew. Alright. So where are we going? Based on what Chad said, we should just need to head here. Let's go. Right? What the? Ah! The bikers! Ah! What's up? What just happened? I just saw the Northern Bikers descend on what they're building, on where they're building that music festival. How many of them? All of them! Ain't that something? You didn't see them? My bootlaces were untied. Just wanted to sort them out. I'm sure. I hate to interrupt, but you want to talk to Maxie, right? I'm sure visiting hours at the hospital don't go on all evening. Gah, he's right. Let's get back to business. Okay. Is this the hospital? No. Here's the hospital. Everybody wants to talk to Moxie. Yes, indeed. To Moxie, not Maxie. I want to check this over here. Okay. Let's go talk to this lady. Hello, do you have an appointment? Ah, no! I'm here to see someone. Maxie LaRue. Family? No. Caregiver? No, Partner? No! I'm sorry, but visiting hours are almost over, so unless you're family, you'll need to present a very good reason to be allowed onto the ward. Present a good reason, huh? Oh, that's tough. Let me see if I can... There. I need to lower the volume for you guys so that way you can still actually hear me too. Okay. I think that should be good. Okay. Okay, so... Oh, I can't use that? Okay. An ID card? Miss Aquila? Detective Flatfoot? Have you finished talking to Maxie? Maxie? From the studio incident? That's right. Sorry, no, I'm here for personal reasons. Oof, awkward. You having some kind of problem? She's here to visit someone, but she's not family and doesn't have an appointment. She's a defense attorney, Francine. She's registered with the city. I can vouch for her. Just hold it a sec. Be aware that Fledged City PD's on the hook for that. Strictly speaking, my status allows me to make reasonable avenues of inquiry about my case. I don't need his permission or yours. All the same, take all the time you need. Rude. Still, something's clearly bothering him. Well, no time for that now. Maybe I could ask someone who knows him personally. Maxie LaRue is in a room behind me. It's through the doors and on the left. Understood. Oh, Moxie, you will like Maxie. Hi, Maxie. Oh, Moon Princess! So this is the hairdresser person, and Maxie is flirty and called Nina a Moon Princess at some point when just chatting with her in the studio. Sorry if I don't get up. Are you in pain? I was. I can get you a soda or something if it'll help. No need, child. With the pills they gave me, the ointments they used, well, it's not exactly a spa day, but I'll pull through. Not sure how this is going to go down. Maxie might hold Milia responsible for her injuries. Probably best to just tear off the Band-Aid. Maxie, we spoke briefly before, but I'm Nina Aquila, and this is my assistant, Dylan Merlot. Hey. I've been hired by Hank and Mr. Lucas to defend Milia Norden in court. You're Milia's attorney? That's right. In that case, Miss Aquila, please promise me you can help that poor girl. You mean Milia? Who else would I mean? Guess there was no need to be worried. Yeah, I got a little bit teary-eyed right then. Sorry, I just didn't know prior to just now how you would feel about the incident. Amelia Norden is an angel. Straight up. I've been from one end of this industry to the other and worked with all sorts of people. She is my darling, my star. You say that almost like she's your daughter. Do I? I suppose it's only fair. That child really never really had a mother. Join the club. Maxie, if I may, if you want to help Milia, I have some questions I need to ask you. I'll help in any way I can. Okay, so let's talk about the incident. Can you tell me what happened from your perspective? Did anything unusual happen during the morning before filming? During the morning? No. Honestly, it was pretty ordinary. Then what about the incident itself? Everyone took their places as the camera started to roll. As a makeup artist, I usually only have to get involved during actual filming if there's a problem. Oh, you love how Dylan has moody shonen protagonist energy. So what you don't know is that Dylan used to be in a motorcycle gang up north in the Northern Territories, which apparently is at war with the southern region of wherever this is. It like in this fictionalized world that this game has. And so he used to be like the head of a biker gang at some point, and he's an orphan from an orphanage, and I forget, like, he got involved because Nina, like, one of her first cases was defending a friend of his, and she saved him, so Dylan just kind of, like, ended up hanging around and just becoming, like, her assistant and everything, and just originally was crashing at her office, but then just kind of became, you know, like, a lurker that lives at the office now. And, like, he's got his own narrative that goes on as well throughout all of this. Oh, and you would love it. At the end of some of the chapters, there is a little section of a bunny girl thing where Nina and her, like, mentor are in bunny costumes talking about, I don't know, different details of the kind of, like, references that this is making and all different kinds of other, like, omake stuff, which is cool. Okay. Back to Maxie. Like, someone's makeup runs or smudges, so I took a place off camera to the right of the soundstage to watch the filming of the first scene. And then what happened? They called action. Then Milia and Janice started to do their thing. But to my surprise, Milia talked as if her character was going to transform, like for a costume change. There was a bright light. It was dazzling. My vision was filled with a mess of blue and purple splodges. Next thing, I felt a burning, searing pain like I'd fallen on a barbecue. It only lasted a moment, though. I guess I must have passed out. When I woke up, I was here. So you didn't see the exact moment that you were injured? No. It was some sort of fire, though. The doctor said my burns are legit like what they normally see when someone's pulled from a burning building. I hope it hasn't been too traumatic. It could have been worse. The burns are superficial in depth terms. They'll heal with little scarring. The problem is just the scale of the burns. They cover so much of my body. Milia and Janice. People at the studio had a lot to say about Milia and Janice. Gossip. In my business, Maxie, gossip can be a problem. Do you know if they were having arguments? Maxie? Please, if you know anything. Arguments is one way to put it. That being said, yes? Okay, there was, maybe. I got some kind of vibe. Some sort of tension. Do you know what about? Truly, I don't think there's anything to relate. All married couples have tiffs and little spats. I don't personally think there was any rift between them. Certainly not of the sort that would cause Milia to hurt him. Yeah, that's another thing. The lady who you're defending, like, the person who died was her husband. So, Maxie, I need to ask you an uncomfortable question. Shoot. In cases of mariticide, or cases of uxoricide, that is to say, murder of husband or wife, yes? There are things people can do that can give people no recourse but to respond. Those things leave injuries. Oh, a bot.
Welcome 36 Boo.
Let's ban you. Alright. 36 Boo is bye-bye. Okay. Those things leave injuries. The sort that a makeup artist might be asked to cover up. Janice never raised a hand to Amelia. You earnestly believe so? Child, I have seen. Okay. You've been professional, so let me be equally frank. I've applied makeup at some point to practically every inch of Amelia. The crew can pay me for things like haircuts and other bits of cosmetic work, and I also do waxing. No part of that girl's body is a mystery to me. I know abuse can take many different forms, but if they were having those kinds of problems, they left 0 bruises or marks. Those two kids loved each other more fiercely than anyone I have ever known. I'm sorry that I had to question that. You're just doing your job. Okay, opinion on the studio. How do you characterize working at the studio? Bit chaotic, right? Yeah, what's with that? It's a cultural thing. We kind of thrive from it. All of us are like one big dysfunctional family. Here, take a look at this. The crew? Mm-hmm. That was at Christmas just over a year ago. Hank and his flirty dozen. Why were you all called that? Beats me. Pretty sure Hank came up with it. Where are you? Behind the camera. I took that picture. I love my job, and I love the studio. If the others seem to be struggling to process all this, that's the reason why. It's just so hard for us to conceive that any of this happened. Miss Aquila? Yes? You seem to have the best interests of Amelia at heart. So I want to trust you with something I didn't tell that lawyer from earlier. Chad? Maxie, sorry, but if you withheld information about the incident, I would never. That Chad guy, he's very direct. He asked me specific questions, and I gave him specific answers. When I tried to tell him this stuff, he said he had everything he needed about before the incident. That sounds unusually slapdash for Chad. There's got to be more to that. The night before the incident, I saw Amelia. Don't you see her most days? Not like this. I was in my salon. It was very late. I was finishing up some last little bits of work at around 10:30 p.m. I remember that rain was beating off the window. It was coming down in sheets. Then I looked up, and through the window I saw Amelia in the trailer yard. But the strange part? She was wearing her full magical girl costume. And I could swear, you're going to think I'm crazy. You'd be surprised what it takes for me to think someone's crazy. I could swear there was a monster out there with her. A monster? It was only a shape, really, like a silhouette. What did you do? I was about to open the window and call out to her, but then there was a blinding flash. I had to blink to get my sight back, and in that instant, it looked like Amelia was gone. I was worried something had happened to her, so I went to check. I walked out of my salon, through the soundstage, and briefly went outside into the trailer yard. But when I went out, all I heard were Amelia and Janice in his trailer talking in raised voices. You didn't investigate further? It was late, and I'd been busy. I figured I was just hallucinating. I was pretty tired after all. Bye, Moxie. Have a good evening. I hope you enjoy your burger or whatever you eat. Seeing Amelia outside, though, With a monster? Sounds like it would have been a pretty vivid dream. Our job involves a lot of, well, thinking about monsters and magical girls. I came back through the soundstage. I thought I heard something as I walked through and paused to look about, but it was dark and the rain makes such a loud noise on the soundstage tin roof, so I headed home. Why didn't you mention this before? Because the bright flash that I saw, it looked like our soundstage camera tricks. It looked like magic. That other lawyer, he only asked about the incident, not really much else. The whole thing sounds kind of weird. You're new to this, show business. Does it show? Actors are unusual people, more so than many other lines of work. A bit of eccentricity comes with the job. But Milia, what about her? Over the years with Milia, I've seen things. Things I can't easily explain. Comings and goings late at night and all sorts. Oh, that's me. Nina, are you there? Hey, Hank, I'm in the hospital with Maxie. I need you to get down to my office right away. Really? Because... Please, hurry up and get down here. Hank? That's our cue. Miss Aquila, please help Milia. I can't imagine how she is right now, locked up in a cell. We'll do what we can. Okay. Whoop. Oh, and now there's fires everywhere. What to do? Nina, Dylan. He looks worried. We came as fast as we could. What's happened? You're gonna want to sit down. What's wrong, Hank? I'm assuming that this is Milia's VFX control device. That's right. This is Milia's costume on a mannequin. It was taken from her trailer after the incident. I guess I was hoping when we checked that the device wouldn't be there. Would have made things simpler. But it was inside her glove. Cat Wheel told us that's where it's normally kept, so this doesn't change anything. I'm sensing that this isn't why you asked us to run down here. You're perceptive. Comes with the job. The reason I asked you to come down is actually far, far worse. Go on. After you left, the police managed to get some footage. Of the incident? But Jack Cable said... No, not of the incident. Our security tapes for the past week. Everything you needed, huh, Chad? You're talking about the night before the incident. How'd you know that? Maxie said some troubling things. Troubling, huh? Then come look at this. Our CCTV footage is only monochrome and very low resolution. Being an older tape-based kind, it only takes one frame every 15 seconds. That way, you only have to change the tape around once a week. Not exactly state-of-the-art. It's on the list of stuff to get fixed. Just show me. That's the soundstage, but what's the place on the left? That's the weapons locker. You can see the ammo packs lined up on the tables. When are we looking at? Just before 10:30 p.m. That matches with what Maxie said. It's the next part. Is that Milia? I refuse to believe that. Hank, she's right there, in full costume. She's holding something. Lotta said that the police already did an analysis. She's holding a trash bag. And a set of keys. Keys for the weapons locker? Hank, work with me here. Fine. Yes, they do appear to be keys for the weapons locker. You can kind of tell from the way she's holding them that she used them to get inside. She's walking over to that ammo pack. And she's just taking it? And she's gone. I wonder what was in that trash bag. Could have been even been empty. Pretty sure it wasn't. Oh yeah? She's carrying a sensitive piece of equipment out in the rain. Is she using it to cover the ammo pack? Dylan's right, she was just carrying it. Seems quiet. Yeah, it's a shame that we just get no signal from the camera in the trailer yard. Things are quiet for about 10 minutes and then there's Millie, full costume with the ammo pack. What's she doing? Surely she's not... Oh, come on. She's loading the Pyron 9000? I still can't believe it. She suddenly turned around. It's a shame it's so low res, or we might have had a better idea of what's going on. You can't even make out her facial expression. Body language, though. She looks as though something spooked her. And I think I know what it was. There it is. Maxie. You can just see that Milia took cover behind some boxes. Maxie went outside. And when she came back, she said that she thought she wasn't alone inside the soundstage area. She has no idea how right she was. It seems after Maxie left, Milia darted for the exit. Can I take a copy of this? Go ahead. I just can't... I just can't believe it. This, I mean, how? What? It's not over yet, Hank. Nina, come on, man. There's optimism and then there's foolishness. We maintain faith in our client, Dylan. I know that. But at what point does defense switch from flat-out denial to damage control? How can we go to court tomorrow and suggest Milia pleads not guilty after seeing this? We'll talk to Milia before things start tomorrow and see if we can straighten this all out. And if she says she doesn't know about any of this, then we stand for her in court. Seriously? How can you do that? We do it because that's our job. Hank, it's been a long day. You should try to get some sleep. I'll try. Proceedings start tomorrow at 9 a.m. Let's meet at the defendant lounge at the courthouse at 8:30 a.m. Maybe Milia can give us some answers. Though it'd be refreshing to have an answer that doesn't lead to a bigger question. Got it. See you in the morning. Let's head back to the office. Hey, what's
Welcome
up?
Boom underscore bap underscore bip.
Welcome, boom underscore bap underscore bip. How's it going? How are you today? Hey, Nina. Yeah? You mind if I crash here tonight? You're not going to see Atalanta? Too late for that. Though maybe I'd see her after court tomorrow. The couch is free. Great. I'm going to use the TV for a bit first. Knock yourself out. I'm going to get ready for bed. I could take a shower or just grab my night clothes from the lockers in the bathroom. Ooh, full of falafel. Ooh, I'm jelly. I love falafel. What else did you have with it? Surely not just falafel alone. You need a shower, woman. Take a shower. Ooh, we get booty. Big old booty, no less. Okay. Police remain baffled about the cause of the recent raft of... Sounds like Dylan's watching the TV. Okay. Do I have to go look for him? Watching the TV? Where is the TV? Oh, there it is. Okay. His little sprouty head. I couldn't even see it. Wanted to see what was going on. Yeah, you came in at just the right time to see the big old booty. So, some kind of brown rice, slaw, and hummus. Sounds funky, but was tasty. I'm not gonna say anything about that. Sounds good to me. I have red lentil and roasted carrot soup with pita chips. I think I ate all of the hummus. Anyway, as 2 more explosions have occurred in the past 24 hours, people are turning to the mayor's office for some kind of... Nina? Each explosion followed by electrical disturbances that have affected nearby buildings and vehicles. Yeah? Do you seriously believe that Milia is innocent? We act as a zealous advocate for our client, Dylan. If she says she's innocent, that's the political answer. I mean, like, for reals. From several witnesses in the area stating that the northern bikers have been in the area of several... Dunno. From an outside point of view, all evidence suggests that on the night before the incident, Milia left her trailer in costume, stole an ammo pack fully loaded, a dangerous machine, knowing that she had the means to activate it the following day. Attained footage taken from an English tourist during the time just before and leading up to one of the explosions. Sounds like she spent the night with him, though. They were husband and wife. But when she was gonna blow him away the next day? Yet another thing that doesn't quite make sense about all this. I'm gonna head to sleep. We've got a big day tomorrow. Later. Before we play that footage, please be advised that some of these images are disturbing. Okay, Nina, breathe. Count to 10. Dylan, can you turn off? How does he just fall asleep like that? Even hearing that on TV, why does it get to me so much? Oh, I finally finished day 1! Yay, day 1 is over. So I didn't tell you about what this game is all about, so I'll tell you about that. So, we are a defense attorney. This is the Ace Attorney-alike that you also have adventure game elements and stuff. And procedural mystery and random fan service. Sorta. Each of the chapters of this has like an anime theme to it. So this one happens to be the magical girl themed one. So in this one, the protagonist, Nina Aquila, ends up at some point getting a magical girl transformation and having a beat 'em up segment that she has to go through. But in prior ones, like the initial D one, she was doing racing on a mountain to get cred, street cred with the racers so that she could get information for them for court. And like there's a Yu-Gi-Oh one where you are battling monsters and stuff for kind of the same reasons. Like you have to get people to respect you before they'll give you info. Yeah. It is cool. And this isn't problematic. Like this is this isn't problematic actually. Like I know it has like a little bit of fan service to it, but it's not a whole hell of a lot. And like during the part where you are doing the Yu-Gi-Oh battles and you go to a convention, there is like this big sign that says cosplay is not consent, and like there's other things like that in there too. And like, you know, there's representation for a bunch of different types of folks, of different ethnicities, but also of different gender identities and sexualities and stuff. So it's awesome. Anyway, so said that she saw you outside in the rain. Sounds like Hank's already here. So in this one, I'm defending a lady who is a magical girl. She plays a magical girl on a show. This is the guy who runs the studio, and she was married to basically her tuxedo mask equivalent. And on the soundstage, while Nina was there to just like look at what was going on, she ended up transforming into her costume and and then like her husband turned into a monster, and then she incinerated it. And so everybody thinks that her husband is now dead, having been incinerated, and that she killed her husband. And so we are defending her in this situation, but we don't know yet that she's a legitimate, actual magical girl fighting actual demons or any of that. So we haven't uncovered all of that yet. And we don't know the details of all of that just yet. Okay, in full regalia. But that's absolutely impossible. Regalia? Hank? Milia? Nina, is it time? No, not yet. You've got a few minutes. What were you two talking, what were the two of you talking about? Oh, just, we were prepping for the trial. Really? Milia? Yes?
Incoming ad break.
Maxie said that on the night of the incident, she saw you outside in the courtyard in the rain. But, and Hank showed me the CCTV footage from the studio camera system. But it shows you getting an ammo pack, putting it into the Pyron. That's impossible. There's a video of you doing it. I spent all night with Janice. You did nothing else? Spoke to no one else? Nina, if she says she didn't do it, then she didn't do it. Hank, if Milia says that she didn't leave Janice's trailer all night, then as her attorney, I'll hold that line in court today. But it means her only alibi is the one person who can't testify. Nina, I'm sorry. It's just... I was with Janice all night. I don't remember leaving or doing any of those things. You're aware that that's going to be difficult for the court to accept. I don't know what else to say. She just seems so genuine. Then again, she's an actress. Hey, Nina, they're ready for us in courtroom B. The bailiffs are out there for Milia. Thanks, Dylan. I'll be out in a sec. See you at the bench. Got it. Milia, go with them. We'll see you again soon. Okay. She seems nervous. Hank? Yeah? I didn't want to upset Milia just before she got to take the stand, or she goes to take the stand. I may only have one eye, but sometimes that gives me the clarity to see through things. And I don't like secrets. What do you... Are you calling me a liar? No. But if there's anything you haven't shared with me, no matter how minor, now's the time. This case means so much to me, to the team, to our business, and to Milia. I've given you everything I can. Aren't you supposed to know to be some kind of legal eagle? Yes, somebody said it. I just got the achievement for that. That's saying legal eagle. Just do your job. So much for candor. All right, into the courtroom we go. What happens if I go over here? Will it let me? Does standing here make me feel more Chad-like? Somehow I don't think so. Okay, fine. It won't let me stand there. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just go where I'm supposed to go. Let's get to it. Got it. Did you talk to Milia? Uh-huh. And Hank? Uh-huh. Any helpful revelations? Nuh-uh. Aquila, Merlot. I trust you came prepared. I always do my homework, Chad. Then perhaps it's time for me to take you to school. All rise for the Honorable Judge Tawny. Please be seated. We are assembled here today in the matter of the trial of Amelia Norden, a resident of Fledge City. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant. Defendant, can you please confirm your name and occupation? Your Honor, my name is Amelia Norden. I am an actress employed by the Valkyrie Raising Project Studio. I see. You are, if I am not mistaken, a person of some notoriety? Well, not the time to clam up, Milia. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila? My client is the star of Valkyrie Sacred Feathers. Pink-haired judge loves Lazy Town or worked at Hot Topic. Yeah, this Judge Tawny is a grandma who talks about like the current pop culture situations because of her grandchild. Like she's like, oh, that game, that Yu-Gi-Oh type game. My granddaughter talks to me all about that. She showed me some kind of post on Zitter or whatever the you know, Twitter equivalent was on here, or whatever they called it. And she also apparently had relations with the head detective guy, Detective Flatfoot, the redhead that we saw at the hospital, I think, before you came in. And so, like, she's had relations with him in the past. And so, like, you find out some stuff about her as you go along as well. Anyway, my client is the star of Valkyrie Sacred Feathers, an award-winning TV show. She is also, both in character and in person, a hero to children all over the country. That's your cue, Hawk. Mr. Hawk, I am expecting you to object to Miss Aquila opining from the defense's bench on this matter. I have yet to see an exaggeration or lie from the opposing bench, Your Honor. But rest assured, I shall speak up if one is to emerge. So the funny thing about the prosecutor, Chad, is that, like, he doesn't want to do this case because he has a niece that's into the show, like, into the Magical Girl show that this character is, you know, or this Milia lady that I'm defending, is, like, the head of. So, you know, like, it would break her heart to know that her uncle is trying to, like, put her in jail. In that case, Mr. Hawk, for the record, please explain the basis for this hearing. With pleasure. Your Honor, the accused was arrested the night before last. This followed an incident at the TV studio that forms the defendant's place of work. During this incident, the defendant's husband, Janice Duo, appears to have been incinerated. The prosecution believes that the defendant played a role in orchestrating this incident, and we intend to prove their motive, means, and opportunity via witness testimony. For clarity, Your Honor, the prosecution accuses Amelia Norden of murder in the first degree.
Order!
Order! Nina? Aren't you going to object? Do they know for sure that Janice was incinerated? You spotted that, huh? I thought the same. But when Chad outlines the case, he's laying out his theory about events. It's inappropriate to object at that point, unless his phrasing was so out of left field as to suggest a mistrial. Yeah, I know, I love the gasp. Let's put a pin in that for now. Miss Aquila, something you wish to share with the class? No, Your Honor. She seems particularly uppity today. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Hawk, for your summary of the case. Milia, Mrs. Norden, how would you prefer to be addressed? Milia, Your Honor. Very well. Milia, you stand accused of murder of your husband in the first degree. How do you plead? No surprises now, Milia. Not guilty, Your Honor. Game on. Milia, the court recognizes your plea. Prosecution, bring forth your first witness. Okay, here we go. Hawk's about to bring out a witness who will give a statement. Yeah, Aquila and Hawk. And she's the legal eagle. Okay, listen to it. We have to focus on the little details. We're looking for an inconsistency. So because this is the fourth chapter and this one came out as a separate game, they have to go over and teach you how to play the game all over again. So it doesn't do this every single chapter, just in the first chapter of the first season 1 and then this one. We're looking for an inconsistency, a flaw of some kind which shows the witness is either lying or just mistaken. Don't worry about memorizing the statement though. We'll be able to recap it afterwards. What do you think he'll go for first? Won't he just break out the CCTV right away? Not a chance. Chad knows that if you're hunting with one bullet, you wait for the clean shot. He'll want to set the scene and only wheel out the most devastating evidence when the room is primed for it. If I was to guess, motive. It's where I'd start. Okay, I mean, is it here that I stand? Yes? Or there's been a serious shakeup since my last proceeding. Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, well, if there's been a change of plans, perhaps it's best. I mean, if I just stand. I mean, maybe if I was just. You're where you're supposed to be, witness. She's nothing if not consistent. We'll start slow. Can you state your name and occupation for the record? Your Honor, my name is Devona Fairchild. I work as an associate producer at the Valkyrie Raising Project TV studio. I am not an expert in television production, Miss Fairchild. Pray tell, what does an associate producer actually do? Oh, all sorts of things. Honestly, it's hard to keep track sometimes. I deal with some aspects of planning as well as any and all minor issues that crop up day to day, such as arranging studio functions or dealing with paperwork. The studio would probably grind to a halt without an AP. So, you're a dog's body? Credit where it's due. Tawny really has a knack for seeing through the heart of things. Psst, Nina. What's a dog's body? It's an old-fashioned word for someone you employ to run around doing menial jobs that you don't want to do. Because, not now. From a certain point of view, yes. Your Honor, if I may. Do, Mr. Hawk. As someone very central to the life at the studio in question, we felt Devona was ideally placed to speak about the accused and victim in that context. Ah, yes, as someone who runs errands, Miss Fairchild, you must know the people involved extremely well. Of course. I consider Milia and Janice as personal friends. I mean, well, considered would be more appropriate for Janice now. I mean, because... Miss Fairchild? Devona? Oh. Sorry, I think I froze up for a moment there. Miss Fairchild, I'm sure you're nervous being in court like this. Just explain what you said to the police. Of course. Your Honor, When all this happened, I was shocked. In fact, I was literally in shock. I didn't say or do anything for hours. But that gave me time to think about countless little things from the weeks leading up to the incident. Surely you're not about to suggest that you expected something like this to happen? No, Your Honor, but Milia is incredible. She nails every take. She aces every photo shoot. She fills every dress. While Janice was an acting genius. He could go from a perfect gentleman one moment to a savage villain the next, at least on camera. The pair were, by my reckoning, the very definition of a power couple. And when I first met him, that's all I thought. Here we go. Then I noticed it, the needling. Just a little at first. Little jibes or barbed comebacks, said by Janice sometimes, but more often Milia. That's not true. Sure, we bickered, but we were married. But saying it's out of context like that... Order! Milia, you will refrain from outbursts or I'll hold you in contempt. But... Keep it together, Milia. I recall days not so long about where the pair had full-blown arguments. Sometimes just the smallest things would spiral, and the two of them would get despondent. More than once, I heard Janice claiming that Milia had gone out late at night, riding her motorcycle through the city, and he had no idea where she was. What secure relationship sees a partner doing that sort of thing? Like the tension was building week on week. If I were to characterize how I felt about it, that their relationship acted like a swan, calm and placid on the surface, but kicking furiously beneath. Huh. So you're acting as a character witness? It seemed appropriate, Your Honor. Very well. Witness, please move on to your statement. I've seen Milia disappear several times. She just vanished late at night on her motorcycle just like that. And given Janice's unusual background, in a way, Milia and Janice have always had a tumultuous relationship. Very well, Miss Aquila, you may begin your cross-examination. Devona paints a grim picture of Milia and Janice's marriage. Let's see if we can turn that around.
Hold it.
Vanish? What do you mean by that? Oh, sorry, I guess that did sound kind of ambiguous. I just mean that she'd take off, leave. She'd head out of the studio parking lot at the drop of a hat, usually on her motorcycle. Where did she go? Well, usually when asked, she'd say she was going to clear her head or to get some air. I've always felt her explanations left a bit to be desired. Objection! Your Honor, the witness is drawing conclusions. Sustained. Oh, sorry, did I do something wrong? Miss Fairchild, as a character witness, please try to only describe examples you have observed. The court draws its own conclusions based upon what you say. And given Janice's unusual background, I'm going to press that again. Unusual? Given his condition. Condition? No one at the studio mentioned he had any sort of medical problem. It's from a few years back. Janice was an amnesiac. He had memory problems? I should really try to shut this line of conversation down for now. Just because I have no idea what she might say. These are personal medical concerns. I'm not sure if I can... Janice Duo is considered deceased, Devona. That means... Oh, really? Do you have a death certificate, a coroner's report? As the defense has yet to be furnished with such documentation, if so. No. I think that actually rattled him. Miss Fairchild, are the specifics of Janice Duo's amnesia relevant to this case? You said that this happened some years ago. It was not an ongoing problem, no. Janice suffered from amnesia. File that for later reference. In a way, Milia and Janice have always had a tumultuous relationship. Let's keep asking. Devona seems such a delicate person, but I can't let this slide unopposed. Oh, come on. Sorry? Your Honor, this is unacceptable. The witness just can't opine like this. Even a character witness. She's providing context. She's speaking without basis. Miss Fairchild,
Incoming ad break.
you'll need to provide examples of specific times that this was evident to you and to other observers. I see. Oh, of course. Interviews. Interviews? As successful actors, Janice and Milia were interviewed regularly by media sources. I always felt we should refuse those requests and ask people to interview Amara instead. Amara? Another star in our stable. She handles herself more professionally. Less friction. I see. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Sure. Okay, very well. Witness, can you please add this to your statement? Interviewers could surely see there was friction between them. Tell me more. What makes you say that? I always used to dread putting the two of them in a room with an interviewer. Interviewers are incisive. They look for stories, and marital discord would be a great story to break. Is that really true? What are you thinking? Chad is trying to establish motive by painting Milia and Janice as being in a dysfunctional marriage. You never really know what's going on in private between two people, but I think we know enough to suggest that Devona might be overly negative in her assessment. Okay, let's see. What do I have for evidence? I don't know that I've got anything. Huh. Let me save this before I do anything. Okay. Surely I've got something that shows them being friendly, like that photo, maybe?
Objection!
I don't know if that works. We'll see. Nope. Okay. Alright.
Penalty.
Right. But what am I supposed to be doing here? Other than just her not having any injuries. Friction doesn't necessarily mean injuries. No. Huh. I don't know. Okay. This is the one I've got to present some evidence on, but... Oh, okay, here we go. This one, maybe.
Objection!
Objection. Nope. Okay. Okay, maybe that's on the next one. It's on the next one. Okay. Let me just load that real quick because I didn't get anywhere. Okay. It'll be the last statement. Okay. Okay, so then I can produce that evidence of that magazine.
Objection!
Okay, yeah, there we go. Devona, you characterized interviews with Milia and Janice as worrisome. They were. But if interviewers are so incisive, why were Milia and Janice celebrated as the sweethearts of Fledge City? Well, in fact, every piece of evidence I've seen suggests they were much beloved by the media. But that's PR. That's the image, the perfect star power couple. I can understand your confusion, you see. Chad's a step ahead, as always. Both of them are actors. It's their job to put themselves forward in a different light to how they really are. That's just it. Devona, you can't just claim that everyone could see a problem when all evidence suggests that no one could see it, and support that by saying they were good at masking their feelings. But, I'd heard them arguing in quiet moments in their trailers, I'm certain of it. Sustained, Miss Aquila. Witness, please amend your statement. I had overheard raised voices recently from their trailers. I believe they fought a lot behind closed doors. But those trailers, those trailers are soundproof. I know that. Where's the trick about the trailers? Oh, soundstage ventilation. I know they're soundproof. They're soundproof, but I wonder, I don't have anything. Nope. Damn it. Okay. Let's press it and see what happens. Raise voices? Not just that, even. I believe they fought, perhaps verbally, perhaps even more. It sounded severe. Do you know what they were fighting about? The trailers are reasonably soundproof. You could hear someone arguing inside, but I think you'd have to creep up really close to hear what they're saying. I never tried. It would have been rude. But it did give me cause for concern for Milia's personal safety. Just Milia's? Janice's too. I mentioned it a couple of times to Hank, but he dismissed it. Chad is trying to establish motive. Okay. Alright. Alright. So we skip these. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay. Huh. Alright. But I wonder what in the hell I've got to cover that with. Is this the one where I present that she doesn't have any injuries?
Objection!
Yes. Okay. Your concern for your coworkers is noble, Miss Fairchild, but I can't help but think that you're reading into more than you can prove. You said they fought a lot, yet there's no evidence of any kind of physical altercation between them on Milia's body.
Objection!
Objection. There are many forms of abuse, Aquila, not all of them physical.
Objection!
Objection. I don't dispute that, Hawk. But your witness paints a picture of a dysfunctional marriage between two partners who fight and bicker in a manner so audible, so severe, to the degree that others around them are express concern. I remind the court that the prosecution's aim here is to suggest motive for Milia's supposed actions, while other sources paint them as having a fairy tale marriage. I will concede that the truth probably lies between these two extremes. Surely you must concede that too.
Order!
Order! Miss Aquila raises a fair point. It is true that the lack of physical injuries to Milia's person does not prove her husband was not abusive, but at the same time, All marriages have good times and bad times. I speak from my experience with my own late husbands. Oh, she's a husband killer. Okay. Husbands? It is not enough to point to mere arguments and raised voices to suggest a concrete motive for murder. This to me rings of gossip, nothing more. Mr. Hawk, the statement from this witness does not hold sway. It is the court's decision to dismiss this witness at this time. Understood, Your Honor. So, does that mean I leave? It does. Oh, good. Milia, I'm sorry, really. I just said what I thought.
Order.
Order! Miss Fairchild, I am aware that you are not accustomed to the courtroom, but my patience has limits. Please leave the chamber. The prosecution calls Jack Cable to the stand. Hey, welcome back. You missed me actually getting somebody kicked off the stand and lots of objections. I had a couple of false starts, but I did the thing. Now we're on to the next witness. Mr. Cable. Yes, Your Honor. Yet again, I am confronted by my inexperience when it comes to your profession. My notes say that you are a studio tech. What do you actually do? It's easiest to think of me as the man in the chair. I handle the room that monitors the footage being recorded for the studio, as well as the levels for the studio. I also handle the physical hardware to record and archive all of our footage. I see. Your Honor? Mr. Cable was monitoring the scene when the incident took place. Oh, so you have footage of the incident? Not exactly, Your Honor. The equipment experienced a number of power surges during the incident. We're not really sure why. So all of our footage was corrupted. Police forensics were given the data yesterday, but they're still looking over it. They're unsure if they're going to be able to restore it to anything of use. But as Jack was monitoring, he saw the incident from his perspective. Yes, I see. In that case, Mr. Cable, are you prepared to make a statement? Yes, Your Honor. Then please describe the events as you saw them. Melia and Janice got together on set to record the scene. Prep was all done, and the director called for action. I monitored everything closely in monochrome. Melia seemed to go off script almost immediately, after which Melia performed her own costume change into her character of Valkyrie Freya. Then Janice performed a costume change into his character as the evil prince. Melia seemed to, well, emit a burst of bright orange flame. Miss Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. This isn't good. Jack's testimony is appropriate, and I know, because I was there. But he was sitting in the control room. Can he really have seen everything that he describes? I monitored everything closely in monochrome. Monochrome, like in black and white? But isn't the show in color? Normally, yes. I understand this was a creative decision for this emotional scene. I don't know why, I'm not a writer. But as the rest of the crew was by the stage, I was monitoring in black and white to get the full effect. Melia seemed to go off script almost immediately. I understand she does this a lot. Frequently. Surely then it's not notable that...
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. The defense is leading the witness. If the witness finds an act notable, then it's notable to him. Sustained. Do not lead the witness to conclusions, Miss Aquila. Come on, seriously? We try to keep the energy going when filming the show. That means we improvise some of the dialogue to make it sound more natural. But it's not normal for an actor to go off script right at the start of a scene. After which, Melia performed her own costume change into her character of Valkyrie Freya. She changed outfits live on the soundstage? That's right. Melia's costume change is an elaborate affair. The camera feed was momentarily overwhelmed by the light. Typically, the flash paper in the costume does that. That's what dazzled the rest of the crew. And when the feed returned, Melia was in full costume as Valkyrie Freya. There's that name again. Mr. Cable, can you, in brief, explain who Valkyrie Freya is? In the show, Melia plays a magical girl, like a superhero. And this Valkyrie Freya is her character's alter ego within the narrative? That's correct. Then Janus performed a costume change into his character as the evil prince. A costume change? That's right. But I'm curious, do you know why Janus changed costume at that particular moment? Actually, no. I don't think it was in the script. Your Honor.
Objection.
I can save us all a few minutes, Your Honor, if I may. What is it, Mr. Hawk? Aquila, even if Janus came out with a major deviation from the script, are you intending to assert that the surprise of this action, a mere shock from it? Gah. He's right. To go further with this infers two things. Firstly, that Milia might have activated the pyro equipment and incinerated Janus purely due to shock and surprise. Secondly, that makes her guilty even if it was an accident. The defense withdraws the question, Your Honor. Milia seemed to well emit a burst of bright orange flame.
Hold it!
You saw that through the monitor? That's right, I had to assume it came from the pyro equipment. He stated that's what he saw, Aquila. Are you disputing that? You were actually in the room, if I recall correctly. Didn't you see it too? Did I see orange flames? It matches what I remember seeing, like, on the day. Ditto. There's nothing wrong with Jack's story on the surface, but could he have really seen everything he claims to from his position in the control booth? Okay. Let's see.
Objection!
Nope, not here. Okay. Dazzle doesn't work. Okay. That's got to be the answer to somewhere. Oh, wait. Present evidence. It's not orange flame. How could he see orange flame when it was in black and white?
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. Mr. Cable, could you provide a bit more info about the flames you saw just before the incident? It's like I said, bright orange flames. I've got to assume they're from the pyro system. That's the problem.
Incoming ad break.
How could you have witnessed bright orange flames when your display was calibrated to monochrome?
Objection.
Really, Aquila? Of all the technicalities...
Order!
Order! Miss Aquila makes a fair point. Witness, could you answer her question? Well, our cameras do record in color.
Objection!
That may well be true, but we're not talking about the raw footage. We're talking about what you could see on the monitor at the time of the incident. Well, it's... Sorry, I guess I was mistaken. Mistaken? Please understand, I viewed thousands of hours of recording from the booth with all manner of special effects, but the flames looked hot. I could practically see heat haze on them, and I guess I used the color as a shorthand to express that. But they were genuine flames. I mean, Janice, it happened so fast. Huh. Sustained, Miss Aquila. Witness, please amend your statement. After that, Janice was gone and the crew were visibly shaken. Maxie was injured even. Right. Tell me more. Yeah, that's right. Busted. Gone? It was like he vanished once the flames hit him, as if he was incinerated on the spot. Everyone was shaken. Maxie was injured. I've seen a lot in my day from the booth, but nothing like this. All right. Okay, so... Oh yeah, he couldn't have seen that because the freaking monitor was broken. All right, come on. Okay, go ahead, come on. You couldn't have seen that. Your monitor was moking. Monitor was moking. It was a burned out monitor. There we go.
Objection!
That's right. You couldn't have seen that shit. Jack, I know you mean well, trying to give the most rounded statement possible, but you've been asked to give an account from your point of view at the time events occurred. But you only saw Janice for the briefest of moments. And how could you see the effect on Maxie or the crew when your monitor was completely burned out? I mean, well, I saw an aftermath image later. It's okay, Jack. You're just trying to rationalize what happened, as we all are. But that is not what you saw. Your Honor, the defense moves to dismiss this witness on the grounds of proven unreliability. I see. The prosecution does not object, Your Honor. Goodness, Mr. Hawk, why such expedience? Miss Aquila raises a point that as he was in the control room, Mr. Cable's statement is not totally reliable. However, we feel it establishes enough about events to freely move on to our next witness. Very well. Mr. Cable, you are dismissed. The prosecution calls Sarah Hector to the stand. Ah, the director. Even with my limited experience of the world of television, I have some understanding of what you do. Even so, I'm not sure why I'm here. Were you not a witness to the incident in question? I was there, sure, but I didn't see anything. I find that somewhat difficult to believe. During the incident when Milia performed her costume change, I was dazzled. Dazzled? Blinded by the effects. I wasn't able to see again until shortly after the incident was over. I see. Mr. Hawk? Yes, Your Honor? We are dealing with an incident that took place on a stage filmed by a camera in front of what appears to be nearly the entire staff of this studio. Do you have a question, Your Honor? Never mind. Welcome to my world, Tawny. Miss Hector. Mrs. Oh, I see. Well, Mrs. Hector, your name rhymes with director. You're far from the first person to point it out. Sorry, it just seemed unusual. That's the kind of bullshit that people do. All right. Blame my husband, Your Honor. Your Honor? As director, Mrs. Hector was, in fact, in charge on the studio floor. She seemed best placed to explain to us how things went off the rails, as it were. Very well. Are you willing to make a formal statement about the incident from your perspective? I'll do what I can. When I said action, Milia acted strange, like she was reading from the wrong script. I figured it was just start of season nerves. She seemed to exchange a few words with her bird, Starna, and suddenly launched into her transformation sequence. The light was dazzling. I was totally blind. Then I heard what must have been pyro FX. I started to panic, but kept sucking down the fresh air until my vision came back. When I could see again, Janice was gone and Milia was just standing there. Maxie was injured. It was a mess. Miss Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. I can't help but feel that I'm just finding technicalities here. Still, it's all I can do, at least for now. If we can create enough ambiguity in the mind of the judge... Okay, let me go ahead and save it before I start this. Alright. Alright, tell me more. Is it possible she was given the wrong script? No. While we'd only recently changed what we were filming that day, Milia was definitely informed. I figured it was just start of season nerves. Okay, tell me more. You had no reason to be concerned? Not really. Sometimes we need a few takes to find our groove. Hell, sometimes you spend the whole day and get almost nothing recorded, though that's pretty rare. She seemed to exchange a few words with her bird, Shtarna.
Hold it.
She talked to the bird? She does that. But that's part of the show. We dub words over Shtarna's squawks. In the fiction of the show, Shtarna can speak. So can Comet, Amara's bird. But even just in real life, Milia talks to the bird to help her keep it calm during the shoots. And suddenly launched into her transformation sequence. The light was dazzling. Tell me more. Something I've been wondering about. You say transformation, but really, Milia's wearing the same clothes both before and after, right? That's right, the clothes just kind of fold out into the new form. Honestly, it's really impressive. But the suggestion here is that Milia used a control device in her costume to activate the Pyro FX. Surely she didn't need to transform in order to do that.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. Leading. Sustained. Your Honor, I'll rephrase. Sarah, given your expertise, would Milia have as much control over the FX pre-transformation as after? It shouldn't have made a difference. The defense would like the record to make that point very clear. The court recognizes the point you're making, Miss Aquila. Well, that's a small victory, if nothing else. I was totally blind. Completely? My vision went a bluish purple. I couldn't see the hand in front of my face. In the moment, I was terrified of permanent damage, but it seemed to pass pretty quickly. I don't get it. Don't you do these shots somewhat frequently? We have different brightness ratings for safety. On days with a lot of FX or very bright flashes, we issue the crew with special FX glasses. Sunglasses, basically. But you didn't have those on in this particular day? I can't speak for others, but certainly I didn't have mine. She's right. No one we spoke to mentioned having these glasses. Then I heard what must have been pyro effects. I started to panic, but kept sucking down the fresh air until my vision came back.
Hold it.
How could you have been sure it was pyro effects and not something else? Weren't you blinded? I've been doing this job long enough to know what flames sound like. But you can't be certain. I mean, okay, I was blind at the time and couldn't say with absolute certainty. But it's just what I expect that kind of thing to sound like from experience. Something about that. When I could see again, Janice was gone and Milia was just standing there. Maxie was injured. It was a mess.
Hold it.
Tell me more. Janice was gone? I'm not even sure how to explain it. Once my eyesight cleared up, the spot where had been standing was empty. Okay, so that's a line that's got typo. Anyway, but you were blind. Could he have ran out of the studio? I only lost my sight for a brief moment and the studio's pretty big. Plus, it's not easy to move silently among all those people, cables, and equipment on a concrete floor. Okay, I've got some things. I wasn't able to see it, but what she's saying seems to line up with what the rest of the crew told us. There must be something about what she said that isn't right. I already got one. All right, let's go. Right. The fresh air is not correct because those fans weren't working. Where's the fans? Soundstage ventilation.
Objection.
Mrs. Hector, I'm wondering about something. You've described in vivid detail about how you were blinded by the flash, then heard what you believe were the sounds of the FX system firing up. As best I can explain. But in that case, haven't you missed something? You mentioned what you could see. You mentioned what you could hear. But not what you could smell. Your Honor. The Pyron 9000 machine is fed by a mixture of chemicals where the most prominent is kerosene. This burns with a very obvious odor, along with substances like cordite to create the studio FX. The smell of these chemicals is, to put it mildly, pungent. Mrs. Hector, do you recall smelling kerosene in the aftermath of the incident? No, actually I don't.
Objection!
This is preposterous. We interviewed everyone on the scene. Every single person. Not one person mentioned the smell of something so potent as, wait, no.
Objection!
Your Honor, it appears the opposing bench agrees with me on this. Thanks, Chad. If no one in the room could smell kerosene. Huh. You can stop now, Miss Aquila. I understand your point. Your Honor. Silence, Mr. Hawk. This does indeed cast a shadow on the events that took place. However, a prominent scent being left out of depositions is not, in and of itself, conclusive proof. But I am not dismissing your point, Miss Aquila, merely suggesting that this line of questioning may have ran its course. Do you agree? We're riding high here. Let's quit while we're ahead. Yes, Your Honor, the defense rests with regards this witness. Very well. Mrs. Hector, you are dismissed. Mr. Hawk, let's keep things moving. The prosecution calls Lotta Eiffel. Can you confirm your identity and your purpose for being here? I am Lotta Eiffel, studio security. Mrs. Eiffel, or Miss Eiffel. Lotta would be satisfactory, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Hawk, can you provide context for calling Lotta to the stand, given that we heard all present were blinded? Is she some sort of expert witness? Your Honor, I had originally wanted to call another witness, Maxie LaRue. However, she was hospitalized by the incident and could not make it to court. However, her actions were recorded on CCTV camera footage, so I invited Lotta, the studio's security person, to walk us through this evidence. I see. How was she involved? It relates to events on the night before the incident. So, I want to try to finish this day of trial, and then after that I will go for the evening. I don't know how long this is. This is going to be, what, the fourth witness now? So this might be the last witness for this, so we'll see. Okay, it's go time. Lotta, I would like for you to comment for the court record on these images recorded the night before the incident. Your Honor, the defense reminds the prosecution that CCTV footage is not typically a sound basis for conviction, without a material witness, unless the footage itself is beyond reproach. And I have seen this footage. It's grainy, low resolution, and of extremely low frame rate. The prosecution concedes this. However, we wish to review the footage anyway. Very well. I've spoken to Maxie this morning in prep for this. I'll see what context I can provide. Go ahead.
Order!
That's the studio soundstage. I see Maxie. This was the night before everything happened. Maxie explained she was present in the studio on the night in question. I understand she was working late. That's not uncommon. She was in her salon. Yeah, gamer judge needs 60 FPS minimum, right? Which has a window that looks out onto the trailer yard, does it not? That's right. But she made her way to the soundstage. Maxie told me that in the thunderstorm conditions going on outside.
Objection!
Your Honor, surely this is hearsay? Lotta can't testify as to the experiences of Maxie LaRue. It goes against convention. As Maxie LaRue is unavailable to take the stand, I will allow this to continue. However, I warn the prosecution, limit your statements to what is verifiable in the footage or directly told to you by Maxie herself. Miss Aquila, please speak up if you feel the prosecution doesn't respect this. Understood, Your Honor. Hopefully that'll keep Chad in check. Maxie told me that, in the thunderstorm conditions going on outside, between flashes of lightning, she saw Milia outside, through the window. Your Honor, the CCTV does not show the trailer yard outside. Also, there are other qualities to this photo that could be discussed, but they are more observable in an earlier photo from the same camera.
Order!
Order! Lotta, can you describe what you see in the picture? Lotta? It looks like Milia, in her magical girl costume. And what does she appear to be holding?
Objection.
Unacceptable, Your Honor. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Objection.
Your Honor, we have spoken to an expert at the VRP studio. Milia is holding an ammo pack for the pyrotechnics equipment on the studio soundstage. In fact, if I am to play the footage in its entirety... At this point, a short length of time passes without anything happening. Then... But that doesn't make sense. Milia couldn't have been skulking around inside the downstage. When I spoke to Maxie, she said that when she was outside, she had heard Milia in Janice's trailer. Even if Maxie said that, our witnesses have already established something today, that the trailers are relatively soundproof, enough to prevent overhearing casual conversation, at least without standing up to one with a glass or similar. And stacked up against photographic evidence to the contrary, Your Honor, the prosecution poses a difficult to accept but seemingly self-evident conclusion at this juncture. That Milia Norden knowingly and willingly prepared the machine to incinerate her husband.
Incoming ad break.
That's a lie! Silence, Mrs. Norden. But this is impossible.
Order.
Order. Miss Norden, I will have order, or I will hold you in contempt of court. Wait. Could Milia have even done this? We must have some evidence that suggests that Milia would have struggled to carry out this plan. Okay. What shows that she would have struggled to carry out that plan? Oh, the keys. The keys are only in there. Maybe? Your Honor, from what I understand after talking to the studio about their safety procedures...
Objection.
Before you follow that thought any further, Miss Aquila, please look at this. Your point being? Look closer. Zoom and enhance. No. She's carrying a set of keys in the picture. Please. Mrs. Norden. Mrs. Norden, please turn to face me. Mrs. Norden, Milia. Yes, Your Honor? What do you think they're talking about? I don't know, but I don't think it's good. Look at him. Smug, sanctimonious. One of these days, I want a nice, simple case where I get to have the super obvious answer in easy CCTV footage. Chad can struggle to find the answers by becoming a rodeo clown or something. I believe it is time to draw these proceedings to a close. Your Honor, I must protest. On what grounds? If my client wishes to change her plea after your momentary discussion, I would ask for a short recess. She has not. Well, I have yet to cross-examine Lotta Eiffel. Do you wish to? Do I? I mean, as a matter of process, I feel like I should insist. But what can I hope to gain? I can't dispute Chad's video footage. And Lotta's words line up with what Maxie told me, save for some weird stuff about seeing a magic light. Probably best the court doesn't hear that. Ugh. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Excuse me? The defense rests, Your Honor. In that case, the idea that Milia was able to arm the studio's equipment to fire at the right time, thus incinerating her husband, is far-fetched but plausible. After reviewing the facts of this case, along with the compelling evidence put forward by Mr. Hawk, it is clear that any reasonable person would consider Mrs. Norden guilty of murder. I'm so sorry, Milia. We really tried. And yet, so many aspects of this incident bear strange qualities. That incident took place in a location that is designed to bear high-quality movie footage, and yet we have no such footage. Viewed by countless witnesses, who were all incapacitated? That Milia's motive for murder seems suspect at best, and the director's statements seem to lack certain critical facts about the way the equipment works. At the same time, Mr. Janus Duo is nowhere to be found and appears, for all intents and purposes, to be dead. Did we really do it? Wait for it. As I am unable to render a verdict at this time, I suggest that we adjourn for today. Both benches are urged to investigate further and restate their cases. We shall reconvene the day after tomorrow. Court is adjourned. Woot! We made it! This far. Aw, come on. What's that thing you're always saying about celebrating Victor? Miss Aquila? Before you leave, I would like to see you for a moment. In private. You heard her. No sweat. Are we good for the rest of the day? I could go meet up with Atalanta. Say hi for me. I wonder what Judge Tawny wants. You wanted to speak with me? That's right. When Randall said he'd arrested a TV star, I wondered of what crime she could possibly be accused. I had no idea it would be as severe as murder. Randall? Oh, you mean Detective Flatfoot. We spoke, actually. He was in charge of the crime scene, but it was strange. He left pretty quickly. I saw him later at the hospital. I see. You must not have heard. Heard what? Randall's daughter is a long-term patient at that hospital. She has leukemia. But he has good reason to make a swift exit. Oh gosh, I had no idea. If he seems a little abrupt, well, now you know why. I'll keep it in mind, Your Honor. Though right now my focus is entirely on the welfare of my client. You certainly have a knack for picking a forlorn hope, Miss Aquila. Aquila Defense and Law has an open-door policy, Your Honor. Admirable. There are only two types of people who would take on a case that's so seemingly ironclad as Milia Norden's. You'd have to be either hopelessly naive or you just believe her. That was uncalled for. Miss Aquila, I do what I can to foster an air of fairness. Do not mistake that for heartlessness. I've been doing this now for a long time. From up in that chair, I have gazed down into the well of the court, into the eyes of countless defendants of all ages, genders, and backgrounds. And in that time, I have seen goodness that cowered in darkness, and evil that strolled amid the light. And when you look at Milia, I see something else entirely. That girl appears completely lost, and that does not tally with the matters of which she stands accused. Lost like innocent? I am not prone to using up more of the court's time on a mere whim. But there is more to all of these events than meets the eye. Of that I am entirely certain. When you sent Anya Miller to jail, did you look into her eyes? I did. I remember her face and name, like everyone I've sent down. It seems only proper. Did she look lost? No. When Anya confessed, she spoke confidently. I had no reason to doubt her words. I see. Miss Aquila, let me tell you a story. About another protege, a golden child, who studied at the feet of the master. This young woman worked directly for Taryn Kestrel, the DA, as a prosecutor. They were inseparable, and together formidable. They worked like this for years. Then suddenly, after a high-profile case, a victory even, this young protege left the prosecutor profession altogether. This young woman, was that Anya Miller? Very good, Miss Aquila. Anya walked out on the prosecutor's office and never looked back. It's my understanding that she and Taryn Kestrel haven't casually spoken since. What was the case about? The last one at which she acted as a prosecutor? Oh? It was of a businessman who stood accused of murdering his son. Krantz, that was his name. It was quite the scandal at the time. Why are you telling me all this? Because you've started a bright career, Miss Aquila. Truly, you're a rising star. But you're fiercely loyal, and I just want you to reflect on this. On being sure that loyalty isn't misplaced. Your point being? Anya was your teacher, and she always has had the demeanor of a big sister. She was a great attorney. But before all of that, she was a person, as flawed as anyone else. Try to keep that in mind. I wish you the best with your ongoing investigation, but for now, I take my leave. Krantz. That name is familiar somehow. Anya walked out on the prosecutor's office and never looked back. It's my understanding that she and Taryn Kestrel haven't casually spoken since. Anya, what happened? What did you do? And that's where we're going to leave it for the evening. Right. Let's save the game. All right, so thank you all. And I will continue this game next week with the next installment. So until next time, take care of yourself and remember to smile.